You're listening to Turn On to Tech with Jeff Levy and Bonnie Jane Bentley, right here on LA Talk Radio.
Well, welcome aboard. This is a show called Turn On to Tech. My name's Jeff Levy. I'm the digital doctor, and I'm the techie, and my partner and best friend,
Bonnie Jane Bentley.
who's not a techie,
I'm a non-techie.
but you're a consumerist. You ask the questions that people will ask.
That's right.
And Tyler M. Jackson on the board and the iPad.
And she represents youth.
Youth, the Utes of America. Remember that movie?
The youths
My
or the
Cousin
youth?
Vinny?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, gotta help the Ute. Look, this is not like any tech show you've ever heard before. We have a lot of fun. Real-life consumer information with kind of a saucy edge. We'll keep you informed. We'll save you money. And it's all good. You can email us at turnontotech@yahoo or google.com, either one. You can call us toll-free at 844-339-5333 with your questions.
Yes, leave your name, your phone number, so we can call you back and we can find out what you'd like us to cover on the show.
Yeah. Now, if you have a Windows 8 computer or you're about to get one and you've never used it before, you're going to be lost. So I've written a series of keystroke shortcuts that makes Windows 8 sit up and take notice. And you can have it free. All you have to do is ask for it. Send us an email, turnontotech@gmail or Yahoo. We'll send it out to you, no cost.
Just put a note in the subject that it's a request for the, what do you call it?
For the
Shortcuts.
Windows 8 keyboard shortcuts. You will amaze your friends and befuddle your enemies. Okay. You can follow us on Twitter and Facebook, Turn On to Tech. And Bonnie, I keep bringing this up because it's important for our audience to know. You had AT&T.
I did.
I would tell you what AT&T stands
Slow.
for, but yeah. You could literally crawl to the
Slow and
internet
expensive.
faster. About $120-something bucks a month.
Yeah.
Now you have DSL Extreme. They have a product called Broadband Fusion.
It works great. Boy, it was like flying on the internet.
You needed seatbelts on your chair, kid.
Whoa, I couldn't believe
It's-
when we turned on that computer how
Boom.
just right there.
And it was a self-install. It was very easy.
Yes.
And it's about 3 times quicker than what you're paying for all those other people to get slow internet and a landline, $34.95 a month.
Yeah.
DSL.
That gives me like $90 I can spend on something else, right?
Oh, yeah.
Shoes.
Shoes.
I can't put my foot up on there because
Not from here. Speaking of shoes, we're going to try to get Robert Shapiro to come talk to us, the attorney.
Why?
Because-
Does he have something to do with shoes?
Well, funny you should mention that. Most people know he's associated with a website called LegalZoom.com.
Oh, yeah?
He owns Shoe Dazzle.
I
which is
wanna-
you
I
know
li-
about
I
Shoe
need to-
Dazzle.
I
Love
need to
Shoe
meet
Dazzle.
this man.
Shoe Dazzle. Tell me about Shoe Dazzle.
Basically, you rent shoes for you rent shoes for like $39.95 for a month. For a month, and you can switch it back with any kind of shoes you want. Even have accessories, purses.
And you
jewelry.
rent them for a month and then send them back?
Yeah, or I think it's longer. I don't know exactly if it's a month or.
Are you getting shoes that somebody else wore? We
think
should look
so.
at that.
Yeah.
What kind of little things can you get in there? How
But
do
then
they
again, you
disinfect
also
those
when you
shoes?
go bowling,
This
you're
is
using
something
other
we'll have
people's
to ask
shoes.
him.
That's true. She made a good point.
When you go bowling, you're using other people's shoes. So what's the difference between Shoe Dazzle?
Athlete's foot.
We'll ask him to join
But I think
us.
they're going measures of like cleaning out the fungus and.
I know they
stuff.
have to spray it with
Yeah.
something.
We don't
or
want to
do
say there's a fungus among us. No.
And it's a growing, a growing business because now Kimora Lee Simmons, I think, is also like a spokesperson for.
Maybe they put UV lights in them to kill all the fungus and everything.
And she's a spokesperson for Shoe Dazzle?
Yeah.
We have to have him join us. I'll drop
That
him
would
an
be
email.
fun.
Okay, let's start with in the news.
You'd like that.
Maybe.
Yeah, oops, I gotta find it. Okay, reports of wait. There's reports of a cyber attack on our nation's infrastructure.
That's what's really scary,
yeah,
Bonnie.
Yeah. Power. Well, this is where they could get us. I mean, it's just like getting rid of the internet or something. If they attack our internet, we're dead too. But this includes power plants, power grids, gas lines, and water treatment facilities. And it's linked to the Russian government. This malicious software called Black Energy was just discovered recently.
Very crazy.
Very scary. Now, tell me about Home Depot.
Home Depot has announced that up to 53 million of their customers have had their credit card information and their email addresses hacked and stolen. So, as a matter of course, if you're using credit cards, debit or credit cards on the internet, always check your bills when they come in, line by line. Check your credit score once or twice a
online
year.
and check it in between bills
Yeah.
to make sure nothing's
Yeah,
going
just
That's
on.
watch.
scary because first it was Target, now it's Home Depot.
Yeah.
Next
they're-
it's going to be
they're-
a grocery store.
Yeah,
Yeah, if
I'm
somebody
telling
gets your
you.
credit card number, they start putting in the little tiny things to test to see if you're watching. And
Yeah, if you
you're
see
not,
a charge
then
for
they'll
like $1 or $2 or $3,
oh yeah, then
you're
you
gonna
got
get hit.
You're gonna get hit. So
Well, I
you
love
gotta
this
pay
next
attention.
story is even better.
Oh, you do that.
Well, you might have seen in the news a nurse, a young 22-year-old, was literally kidnapped right off the street.
It was scary.
Yeah, this man ran up behind her and grabbed her and took her, and it was all captured on video. They found her 2 days later. You'll never guess how.
How?
They activated a GPS chip in his car. Now, why would he have a GPS chip in his car? Because he had rotten credit. And so the lenders said, if we don't get payments, we have to know where to repossess the car.
Repossess it.
Yeah,
Oh,
and that's how they
gosh,
got the
I'm
guy.
doing a thing on repo later on in
Yeah.
this show. Okay.
But they saved her life, and that guy's, he had 6 violent felony warrants out for his arrest. They got him now.
Whoa.
They
Whoa.
got him
How
now.
scary. So
I guess if he wasn't a crook, he would
on
have good credit.
on a lighter note, it's
Oh.
No Shave November. You don't
Yeah.
have to worry about
I
that.
think I'll get through the month okay.
However,
I'll give you an hour to quit that.
So all you guys, it's time to show your testosterone.
Woo.
Now, what it is it's a month to fight against testicular and other cancers that affect men. So by not shaving, you're showing your testosterone. I like it. Oh, baby. Yeah, I like you much better with a beard.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, you look cute.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, the new Fitbit it was leaked by Brookstone. You
Oh,
think
they-
they
yeah.
accidentally leaked it, or not with the
It's
other
called
things?
Creating the Demand, and I'll tell you why they did it. Microsoft just came out with a fit band called the Van that blows everybody else out of the water. Totally. We talked about it last week.
Yeah,
So now Brookstone's saying, well, but we've got this one over here.
yeah. Let's look at ours. But it keeps track of steps and distance and calories, and it's due out in 2015. Now the Fitbit Surge, also out in 2015, adds heart rate data. But there's a battle going on for your wrists. I mean, you like yours. That's cute. Okay.
Well, I'm getting rid of it.
Oh, what are you
I'm
getting
getting
a
a
new
new one.
one? Okay. Now there's another one though that's in development called Pavlok. That's Pavlok, and it gives you 255 volts of motivation if you
Oh.
don't reach your fitness goal.
Oh,
It's
it
like
jolts you?
You better do your 10,000 steps, baby.
Do you catch the play on words? Pavlov?
Yes, Pavlov's
with
dogs.
the dogs? With
Yeah,
the,
yeah.
Interesting.
Okay. So
You
remember.
know, that could be interesting, excuse me for interrupting, at certain times of doing things.
Huh?
Getting a jolt when you're doing different activities.
I don't think you can set it for that, Jeff.
But you don't know.
Okay. Remember to check on the recall on airbags
Yeah.
for your car.
Yeah.
Because they're very dangerous. They explode. They can send shrapnel, and it's massive. This recall is massive. So protect you and your loved ones. Now, the other couple of interesting things. Okay, the new Republican. I can't say that.
Republican.
Democrat was easier to say.
Yes, it still is.
Okay, Republican Senate average age is 49 years
you
old.
kidding me?
Yeah, it's
49
really
years old
young.
for a senator?
Really young. Well, that's the average age. So yeah,
Okay,
there's some
that's
younger
pretty
ones. This election, the youngest woman ever, age 30, was sent to Washington, and also a hog castrating female.
Oh, yeah.
Oh boy, baby,
Yeah,
watch out.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, watch out when the knives come out, I'm telling you.
So-
Oh,
Rotating shifts can lower your memory and cognitive skill.
rotating shifts like work?
At work. Like if they put you on day shift, then you switch to night shift, then you switch to afternoon shift. It really screws you up. And researchers looked at 3,000 people in France, and they found that people that were on night shifts for a long length of time, like 10 years, they were only looking at the people over 10 years. had a decline in brain function. They had lower memory and cognitive skill scores than those working regular shifts. But if they put them on regular shifts, they went back to normal.
How nice.
Yeah.
It's good to know.
Yeah.
It's what is that called? The circadian rhythm?
Circadian rhythm. Yeah. Your body has a rhythm. Now, so if you're on the same night shift every night, exactly the same shift, you'll adjust somewhat.
Well, what happens to people in Alaska when it's daylight for like 20 hours a day?
They have to have blackout shades.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Or
So-
when it's nighttime for 20 hours.
It's a long time. Your daughter may be going up there.
Yep.
Okay, tech tip.
Yep, tech tip. We talked about the Windows being so confusing, Windows 8. The first thing Microsoft did after they brought out Windows 8, 2 days later, they fired the guy that was the head of the project.
Yeah.
They took out the start button on the lower left corner of your screen and the taskbar along the bottom. That's all gone. The idea was everybody's going to have a computer that has a touch screen, and of course, millions of us don't have that
Yeah.
and aren't going to buy a new one. So how do you get the start button back? Well, there's kind of a start button now in Windows 8.1,
Okay.
but people don't know that you can right-click it or left-click it. So if you, by the way, Windows 10 will be out in April. We'll report on that, Bonnie, but there won't be a 9.
So maybe you want to wait to buy a computer or get one
Yeah,
that can
okay.
accommodate Windows 10.
Well,
huh?
on the Windows 8.1 Start button, if you left-click on the Start button, you get to the Start screen. But if you right-click, you get to see options like Run, as in run a program, Search, Desktop, Shutdown, and more. So remember, in Windows 8.1, there's a little Windows insignia, lower left-hand corner. You can right or left-click.
Okay.
Or you can go on the internet and get a really good Start button. They're mostly free.
Really?
Yeah. I think when Windows 10
I didn't know you
comes
could
out,
buy a start button.
Me either.
well, they're
What do
putting
you
them in
have?
cars. Why
what
not?
do you have? Do you have Windows 7, Windows 8? What do
She's
you
got
have?
a Mac.
She has Mac.
No, I have a Windows.
Ooh.
Yeah, and it's actually really, really, really old. I haven't even
I have an
updated.
XP.
Yeah, me too.
Hey, maybe I'll give her my Vista.
There you go. There you go. Okay, so let's talk about Verizon.
Okay.
All right. When I started in radio back in 1995, I was the first to talk about internet cookies.
Yes.
And in those days, a cookie was a very teeny-weeny small text file. Okay? The idea was, I'm going to watch where you go on the internet so I know what you're interested in and how to market to you.
Okay.
Well, that's gotten crazy. And Verizon has these new, and AT&T as well. They're called super cookies. They cannot be detected and they cannot be disabled. And they track your mobile web browsing, which means your tablet. Look at Tyler's face. They know where you've been going, girl.
You're priceless.
That sucks. Because the whole point of going on the mobile site is to not be on your desktop site and like do your searches there, so to know that they're tracking on your mobile.
They're tracking you on the
It
mobile.
doesn't
and
matter where you are, honey. They know what you're doing.
yeah, and so if you're browsing
won't tell
around
Mama,
on
though.
your no, but we will. So if you're browsing around on your cell phone or your tablet, these cookies will carry that information, and they're tied to data plans. So anybody who browses the web through a hotspot or shares a computer with users and cellular data, like 3
So
people
you
on a
can't
plan,
get away with it no matter what data plan you're on or what
Well,
company you're with.
They
even if
just
they-
ignore the privacy mode. They're just ruthless. Now, to defeat the super cookies, there is a way.
Whoa.
Use a VPN, which is short for Virtual Private Network. And if you go to Google and just enter free VPN, there are several good ones, and you are protected. Also,
Well,
instead
how is it free and how are you protected?
because it sets up a channel that you can go to that can't be watched.
Oh.
VPN, Virtual Private
And
Network.
they won't watch you either.
Can't.
Okay.
And if you're going to do an internet search, Tyler, instead of Google,
Are you going to the porn sites? We've all done that.
yes, I have. We have.
So do they really do that?
Have we done it together, the three of us? That's
We
the
did.
question.
Oh, yeah,
Eat your
and
hearts
then
out.
I put cookies or something on my thing. Remember on my iPad, it
Cookies
kept
on your thing?
reappearing.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I kept
Porn
reappearing.
site
All of a
kept-
sudden, it was.
That's right. That's right. Well, besides the VPN, Tyler, next time you go to to the internet, use DuckDuckGo. just like it
Mm-hmm.
sounds. DuckDuckGo is a search engine that doesn't care where you go because it doesn't keep track.
Okay.
You know how if I go on Google and I look up something and I tell my sister to go to Google and look up the same thing, that she'll get different answers than I will?
Because of different preferences. You're exactly right.
Yeah, so it's because of her preferences. If I tell her to go to DuckDuckGo and we both look up the same thing, we'll get exactly the same results.
Oh, okay. All
But
right.
yeah,
Gotta write that down.
DuckDuckGo.com.
Quack, quack. Just think quack, 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 quack.
Very good. Okay, so not really news, but interesting news.
Yeah, in China they
I'm back
have.
at the porn site. Let's.
Yeah, well, that would
Okay.
be more fun. Okay.
all right.
In China, they have walking lanes for people using devices. So
What?
there's lanes marked with a device and lanes marked with no device, and so that the people don't get run into, because people are running into people all over the place. I mean, yeah, so
That gives
I think
new-
it's a great idea.
It is, but it gives new meaning to the phrase, honey, guess who I bumped into today?
Right. Yeah, but people were getting knocked down, and you know,
Oh, my.
people are texting while walking and getting
Well,
into
that's
more
crazy.
and getting into more texting accidents while walking than while driving in this country.
Really?
Yes.
What are the
texting.
percentages?
Yeah, they run into everything. Okay, so 75% of people actually admit to texting while driving or using a device while driving, and 2/3 while stopped at a signal, which you'll notice there's always a big delay at the green light.
Yeah, is
Because-
that what that's
yeah,
about?
yeah, I think
People
so.
are honking and waving. The guy's sitting
Yeah.
there.
So have you ever heard of auto brewery syndrome?
Is that
you did.
Samuel Adams?
Oh, that sounds good. Okay, the body creates a chemical change that makes you drunk, but you've had no alcohol, and you can get pulled over for a DUI and not have had any alcohol. And people have actually tried to use this as a defense
That'd
on
be
a
a great
DUI. But the thing is, it is a condition where you have yeast inside your gut, and it's doing wrong things and producing these things that make you drunk, like alcohol.
And so what do you do to combat that?
You actually use the same things you would use to combat yeast infections.
Antifungal?
Yeah, it's an antifungal agent that I forget the name of it.
Okay.
Your doctor would tell you. Anyway, did you buy American-made candy this Halloween?
God, I hope so.
Yes.
I hope so. Are you sure? So,
Well, yeah. How do you know it's American made?
oh, look on the label. Okay, Just Born, the company that makes Peeps, those little cute little marshmallow things. They're
Ew,
cute though
they're
at
gross.
Easter. Well, people do like them. I get my dad them every year. Okay, they've been around since Harry Truman, and
For
they
those
all,
of you who don't know, that's in the 1950s.
or
40s.
earlier,
40s, yeah,
years.
sure,
They
Japan.
also make Mike and Ike since 1940, and Hot
Hot
Tamales
tamales.
since
Oh, yeah.
1950. And next year, just try to buy at Easter, buy American-made
I
candy.
like that.
And Halloween, yeah. Okay, the most recognizable song of all time, or the catchiest one, is "Tell Me What You Want, What You Really, Really Want."
Girls.
By Spice
Spice
Girls.
Girls.
See, you guys
Yes,
knew
you know,
already.
yeah.
Okay, and the top songs were "Eye of the
Oh,
Tiger."
I love that one.
Pretty
Oh, I
Women.
love that one too.
Candle in the Wind.
Oh, Elton John.
Beat It.
Michael
Jackson.
Jackson.
You bet. And I Will Always Love You.
Whitney Houston?
And do you know who wrote that?
No,
Who's the country star? Who's the country star?
not Blake Shelton.
No,
Garth
the blonde,
Brooks.
the blonde lady that's been around for years.
Oh,
that's best
Dolly
buddy. Dolly
Parton.
Parton wrote it.
Oh,
You
wow.
bet. She wrote that, and she sang it originally.
Well, Pretty Woman turned into a movie with Julia Roberts.
Uh-huh.
Remember that? I'm trying to think who sang. Roy Orbison sang that song.
Well, the way they determined this was by how many seconds it took people to recognize it, and it was 2-point-something seconds was the best
Wow.
one.
Wow.
But see, it's like I remember from way back, Indigada Davida, dun dun dun
Oh,
dun
yeah.
dun dun
Cream,
dun,
right?
dun. I don't know.
That
I don't
was-
even
that
know.
was
I just
Cream.
remember the
That was
tune.
Cream.
Okay.
I liked Starkle, Starkle, Little Twink. How the heck I are you think? That's Twinkle, Twinkle when you've had too much to drink.
Yes, I got it. Except
Okay.
for you couldn't
You
say
know
that
who
if
wrote
you had
that?
too much to drink. What?
Mozart wrote the music for that.
Twinkle Twinkle
When he
Little
was
Star?
6, not the words, he wrote the music when he was 6 years old.
Whoa.
Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. Yeah.
Whoa. Okay.
Yo,
No,
okay.
So there's an "All You Need Is Hand" billboard. It was it's a take
All you
off-
need is
it's,
hand?
it's take
Really?
off on "All You Need Is Love" by the Beatles, and it was put up on Sunset Strip in West
Oh,
Hollywood.
for safe sex, or is
Well,
it for
no,
sex?
it's
Yeah.
it actually is for that, but it's for Pornhub.
Oh,
And the thing is, they put one up in Times Square across from the Hilton DoubleTree, and they demanded that it come down. But on the Sunset Sunset Strip, nobody is complaining across the street from the Standard Hotel. But I
Oh,
think it's a
that's
good
great.
idea. I mean, I'd rather guys do it themselves than go out and get a hooker or go pick up a girl in the bar that they don't know and take
Yeah.
something bad home.
Yeah.
So you're saying handies are a good thing?
That may be.
Okay. Well, speaking of things like relationships, there's a company called JDI, and they own a lot of dating sites. They've been getting guys to pay a monthly fee, and then the guys see these calmly attractive women who are kind of coming on to them. It's all computer generated. The women don't exist.
They don't exist.
No, and they just keep getting drawn deeper and deeper, and then the woman disappears, and another one comes along. And they renew these subscriptions without asking.
Oh my gosh. And how
Yeah.
do you get off of that? That's scary.
Well, they were fined by the Federal Trade
Oh,
Commission.
so the person thinks they're actually going to be able to meet this person
Yeah.
and date them, and they don't exist.
Don't exist.
Oh, that's
So they
false
got hit-
advertising.
Well, they got hit with a $600,000 fine, but as much money as they make, that's a drop in the bucket.
That's nothing.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Whoa.
So the woman who's coming on to you on a dating site
Whoa.
might be Siri,
Oh,
the
yeah.
Apple voice.
Okay, well, I have another look at dating sites.
Okay,
Okay, By Felipe, that's BYEFE.
like bisexual?
No, no, that's BI.
You're
Bye,
right.
goodbye, goodbye,
Bye.
Felipe. It was a takeoff on Bye Felicia,
Oh,
which is what
yes.
guys would say when they weren't interested in seeing a girl and wanted to get away from her.
Oh.
Okay, now, so what's happening is Bye Felipe outs men who are treating women badly online.
Good for them.
Yes. Men on dating sites tend to quickly go from flirtation to rage if they're rejected. And they go after women by putting them down or saying some pretty nasty things, actually, and putting down their looks. So the site called By Felipe exposes those guys, and the site's named, like I said, after By Felicia. Now, it has 200,000 followers.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. And it's a place where women can out those bad guys. Well, the women actually post the conversation or event that
Ooh.
occurred, and
Ooh.
sometimes they're pretty gross or graphic. And now, OkCupid has people that screen the reports. In fact, one of the women that screens the reports is the one who developed By Felipe, and decide if people should be banned from their site.
Nice.
good.
Yeah. So never respond if anybody is nasty or puts you down.
Yes.
Just don't respond. This usually happens when you say you're not interested or you don't want to text. It will only get worse.
You know,
Just
the
ignore 'em.
internet, Bonnie, the internet gives people anonymity to hide behind. And so they think they can get away
How
with
come I
doing
only
all
got
kinds
page
of.
2?
I don't know.
I hope we may be putting off our
Oh,
travel plans unless we
what
can
the
find.
heck? That could have been a human error.
I don't know. That's very.
I think
funny.
we're going to move this to next week.
I'm looking.
We got
to
our
see-
first story for next week.
Okay.
No,
but
I think in
was
the
looking-
I think I did
Something
that. I thought I
happened.
double checked it. But let's
Something
talk about
happened.
Repo Men.
Okay, Repo Men.
Oh,
are,
love this one.
Repo Men are photographing your license plates every day. They drive around all the cities, and they are catching. Each one catches up to 1,600 license plates that they photograph per hour, and up
1,600
to
an hour?
up to 20,000 per day.
What are they doing with all that?
What they're doing is, if you saw one of these cars, since it's got the cameras all over,
Okay.
I would have thought, and I have seen one. I thought it was Google Earth.
I would have thought that
Yeah,
too.
and that they were recording more information and current addresses. But what it is these cars are outfitted with the same things that sort the information that the police use. When the police get this information, they are not allowed to sell it or anything. It's controlled. But when these guys do, they sell it to insurance companies,
Oh, my.
banks, law enforcement, and federal agencies. And the two main companies are DRN and MV Track. And MV Track has more than 1 billion license plates stored.
Whoa.
And DRM sells to TLO, which is owned by TransUnion. So
credit
it's
people,
like,
yeah.
right. So as these repo guys are driving
crazy.
around, if the system cites a car that actually is up for repossession, it alert goes out and it flags the license plate. But every single license plate they photograph has a time, date, stamp on it with the latitude and longitude.
So they know where you were when you were.
Absolutely. So if these federal agencies use this information, they're buying it. They're not getting it themselves. So
Wow.
I guess that's different.
You know,
So
there's an interesting. Go ahead, Bob.
that's it.
Well, there's an interesting concept here, okay? If a police officer sticks a GPS on your car underneath, and then they use that to track you, is that an illegal search or seizure? That's a question that the courts have really struggled with.
Well, what if they, well, I guess if they shoot one of those darts that shoots on the bumper of somebody they're trying to follow instead of having all the police on their tail and to protect civilians.
Well,
to
it
track them,
stops the
that's a
high-speed
tracker.
chase.
That's different.
But if a detective thinks you're, for example, involved in porn or narcotics or something illegal, and they put a tracking device under the trunk of your car, is that an unlawful search or seizure? And the courts are divided on it, but here's the real truth, okay? It's no different than a police officer surveilling you and driving and following you. It's no different.
Yeah, it's the same way with them shooting the dart. Yeah.
Yeah, so you have no expectation of privacy when you are in public. Now, if they're across from your house in another house and they're filming with a high-speed camera without a search warrant, that's an invasion of your privacy. That's
Because
illegal.
it's on private property.
Yeah, because you have an expectation of privacy in
Right.
your home.
Right. That's why you can't, actually, if you have a surveillance camera in your home, you can't shoot the sidewalk. You can shoot only your property.
I didn't know that.
I found that out.
Well, we should check into that. So if a police officer goes behind your house, right, and goes to your trash and finds evidence, can he use it?
No.
Maybe, because you have no expectation of privacy in your trash.
That's right.
You're
When you
throwing
put it
out.
out on the curb,
yeah.
The standard
Anybody-
is expectation of
you
privacy.
better grind it up.
You better shred it, baby.
Shred
oh,
it.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. Confetti shredder.
Okay, I think this next story is pretty cool. Now, you have 2 dogs.
Yeah.
And sometimes we know dogs are food motivated and they love you forever as long
Yeah,
as
as
you
long as
take
you give
care
them
of them.
treats and
Yeah.
food.
Yeah, but wouldn't it be really cool if you could communicate with the dog so that you could understand the dog and the dog could really kind of understand you?
Hard language learned.
Also be like ball, food.
Yeah. Feed me.
Feed me.
Cookie. So a team in North Carolina at the North Carolina State University creates a dog harness that has a range of sensor technologies to interpret the dog's body language and the human speech for the dog.
That's like that movie Up. It's a cartoon from Disney, and they had like a belt around the dog, and every time the dog would speak, he would speak out words and language. It's a Disney movie
Well,
called Up.
it's becoming reality now.
Yeah.
Well, how do dogs communicate with other dogs? Pretty much by body language, right? Mm-hmm. Although they do a lot of sniffing. You know what they do.
Yeah.
All right. So they communicate by that. So the harness is fitted with a variety of sensors that can determine the dog's posture. Is the dog sitting? Is it standing? Are the ears up? Is it aggressive? And it interprets all of that. It can decide whether the dog is running, sitting still. It checks the heart rate, body temperature sensors, monitor the dog's emotional state, and it can help humans understand the behavior and kind of mitigate the dog's stress levels. The signals are then transmitted wirelessly via a computer on the dog's collar, which is about the size of a pack of playing cards. And the harness is fitted with speakers and tactile feedback like vibration, so human commands can be translated into a sensation by way of the harness that the dog understands much easier than words. Although I will say, your dogs, they understand 2 things really well: no and go.
Yeah, they do. They do.
Amazing. You say go and they just slink away, head down, feelings hurt, trying to get a little sympathy. They know they did bad things.
No,
they know.
no, they don't have to do anything bad. It's just you don't want their attention right then.
Well, here's the whole idea. The harness will be available next year. We're going to have one here in studio to report
Okay.
on. But the idea is better communication between a dog and a human.
I wonder if
It's a
they'll have
great
a
idea.
limited amount of time that the dog can wear it per day because of the electromagnetic energy that it comes off. It's
Something
like
to look
wearing
at.
a cell phone or
Yeah.
a headset or whatever.
Something to really be aware of.
Yeah.
It's funny how they have a harness for dogs when cats are mostly like the most.
Can you imagine keeping a cat in a harness?
No, that's like taking a cat for a walk with a leash. I don't think so.
Oh, they do.
They do. I
I've
would
seen
say
it,
I've
but
seen
it's
it.
not the
I've
norm.
seen it.
Yes.
And
Yes.
some cats know how to flush a toilet too, or go to the
Yeah,
bathroom
they do.
on a toilet.
They do, and flush it.
You know, dogs are like, I'll fetch, I'll beg, I'll do tricks. Cats are like, have you bumped your head? I'm not going to do that for
It'll
you.
be interesting to hear a cat
Cats
speak.
actually, there's a Russian circus of circus act that is cats that do. They're smarter than dogs in
Well,
a
I
lot of
wouldn't be
ways.
surprised because when you
They
think
do
about
incredible things.
it, well, over the years, circuses have always had the big cats, the lions and
Yes.
tigers. Same, right?
My sister used to put her arm out and go. I don't remember the cat's name, and he would jump up and grab on with all fours and hang upside down off her arm. I don't know how she trained him to do that.
I don't think she did. I think the cat trained her. That's what I think. Remember one thing, folks. Dogs have owners, cats have staff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay, there's
yeah.
a
Change my cat box.
yeah. Or I'll do something naughty on your carpet or in your bed.
Oh, yeah. My sister's cat used to do that if they left town. When they got back,
yeah.
they'd do it on the bed just to show them.
Yeah, and they'll
I'm
sit
mad
there-
at you.
And they'll sit with their butt facing you when they're really mad at you.
Yep.
K-Fi does that, but he doesn't get mad often.
Okay.
Okay,
His
this
cat
is
is 18 years old, right?
about 19.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. You know what he
Okay.
gets for breakfast? Whatever he wants.
Okay, so do you know in Los Angeles and all over the state of California now, they have a cash incentive for replacing your water-eating lawn.
Replacing your lawn?
Replacing it. If you tear out your lawn and replace it with drought-resistant plants in California, and in Los Angeles, I know the amount that they're paying is. It went up from $3 per square foot to $3.75 per square foot for every foot of lawn that you pull out. So it's the state's effort to cut water use, and Los Angeles is trying to cut water use by 20% by 2017.
Well, we've heard about the drought.
Drought?
Drought?
The drought.
The drought. Are you English, dear?
Yes, the drought.
Okay.
So how does this system work? You actually give up the lawn, the grass, or whatever's on your lawn?
Yeah. But let's talk first about the people who don't get rid of their lawn. They're going to be paying for all the new infrastructure and everything for the water companies. So you're going to be paying a lot higher rates for water. So you might want to think about actually using this program while it's in place. So, okay. So what you do, I'll go to that in a minute. To do this, you go to your water district or water company's website to
Right.
find out about the program. And you can look online by Googling California Friendly Landscape Initiative. Okay, how it works is you take measurements and photographs, or approximately how it does. I checked into it once. Take measurements and photographs of your lawn, and you send them in with your application, and you have to tell them what you plan to replace it with. And then there will be guidelines on their website about what to use. And they'll give you the okay. You get the money when you send photos of the area after the removal of the lawn, so that you can replace it with the plants that you're going to
How
replace it
fascinating.
with. Okay. My neighbors have done this with drought-resistant plants, ground cover and rocks, and landscaping companies they all know about this new deal, and so they have things going where they'll, help you plan it.
I heard a commercial. I've heard it a couple of times on the radio. We'll replace your lawn free. Now, they're not working for free, so
That's
they're
what
getting
that
the
is.
money. They're
That's
billing
what it
the
is.
state.
They know that the state's doing this, and that's
Right.
what they're using.
And they get the money.
That's right.
And you get, because if you notice, if you look back in the last year or so, we have a lot of water mains that are bursting in Los Angeles. Got 130-year-old pipes. That cost of water is going to go through the roof.
I noticed ours went way up this year for my
Yeah.
dad's house, and it's because it's been a really dry year, and I'm having to water things more.
Yeah. Are you thinking of doing this water-free lawn?
Oh yes, what happened is I removed our lawn. I removed our front lawn and put it in the backyard for the dogs. And what happened is I didn't know that they would give me cash to do that until afterwards. And one of my neighbors said something, and I went, "Really?"
Oh.
So now I didn't do a very good job of removing it, so it all grew back. So now
Well,
I'm
there's
gonna
another chance.
Remove it again, and yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to remove it again and do it right this time.
I love it. So, Tyler, you said you have a PC at home.
Yes.
But you also carry an iPad.
Yes.
Have you tried using Microsoft Office on the iPad?
No, I haven't.
Well, Bonnie, you have an iPad.
Yes.
I have an iPad.
I want Microsoft Office on my iPad.
Well, here's what Microsoft did. They're going through they have a new CEO.
Yeah.
Since Steve Ballmer stepped down. This is a new CEO who's gotten in trouble because of comments he made about equality in pay for women.
Oh,
Yeah, he stuck his foot in his mouth. But
bad guy.
so Microsoft finally gave in and said, okay, you want Office on your iPad? We'll give it to you free. But, you know there's a but.
So it's a but.
The but is you can only read documents. You cannot create them. You cannot edit them unless you spend about $70 a year on a subscription to something called Office 360. Well,
That didn't go over real well.
yesterday the stars aligned. And Microsoft brought out another version of Office for the iPad where you can create and edit documents, spreadsheets are coming, and
Wow.
PowerPoint.
Really?
Now,
Wow.
the trick is there's an upsell, meaning there's a pro version where you get a little bit fancier
Oh,
things.
but you don't have to get it. It's just
No.
kind of like Dragon.
Yeah,
You know, Dragon has the freemium.
that's the whole model. Thank you. It's called a freemium, meaning you get the free one, but you should pay for the premium version.
You get the freemium or the premium.
Yeah.
And if you don't need the premium, you don't.
You don't.
Have
Yeah,
to pay
you
for
and I
it.
wouldn't need it.
No.
So Tyler, are you checking the Play Store,
Yeah, I am.
the Apple Store? I tried it out. It actually works. You need to have a Microsoft account, like a mail account. Oh, you just get
Oh.
a free account at
Well,
Hotmail or something.
Hotmail. Oh, Hotmail is Microsoft. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Well, they call it something else now, Outlook.com.
Oh,
But when we work to prep the show, there's a lot of
that's
work.
right. It's Microsoft Outlook. That
That's
would
right.
make sense.
So we do a lot of work to do these shows.
Oh,
Research like crazy.
I was up till 3:30 last night and up at 7:30 this morning. Worked till 3:30 this afternoon.
I know what you're going to be doing tomorrow.
Sleep.
Yeah, I hope so. The thing is that you've now gotten into a routine with your iPad where you use Dragon, and
I
we've had
use
them on the
Dragon.
show, and you dictate, and then you email the dictation to yourself, and now it saves you an awful lot of hunching over and typing.
That's right.
How accurate is it?
I am surprisingly accurate, and especially if you say capital and if you say period, and you just don't run your sentences all together and have to go in and put all that in later.
And you have to learn to speak punctuation.
But I have learned
Right.
that if I've recorded something on television, an interview or something, and I want to catch points, to go back over it before I erase it and make sure that the names are right and
Yeah.
the different things are right, because it doesn't always get things.
Yeah,
Sometimes you have to figure out, what did I say?
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, you have to be
Yeah.
careful. But look at what it saves you.
Oh, tons of time.
And again, once you get used to it, it's pretty accurate.
And it's great because I can run the TV and there's something I want and I'll stop it and I'll put it on that and then I'll run the TV and the next stop it and put, just keep going.
Fabulous.
It's great.
It's all good. So I'm waiting for the next version because we've got Dragon 13 on our computers.
Yes.
But you like the iPad. It's much more convenient.
I liked the iPad because it's much more convenient, but the one on the computer has all these special things that it does. And I'll say colon and it'll put on both of them. If you say colon, if you're talking about colon cancer, you get a colon cancer. Anyway,
No,
there's-
it's the rhythm of how you speak.
Oh, is it?
If you were to say, there's a new investigational medicine to use to treat cancer colon, you'll be fine. But if you say it's going to treat cancer colon, then it knows
Then
you're
it will do
punctuating.
it.
Yeah.
Well, I have to learn to speak that way then.
Well-
but there's also, it has a lot of special things it can do on the
Dragon
on
13, yeah,
13
yeah.
that things start coming up when I say certain words and I didn't want them to come up and I don't know how to deal with that. So I have to
I can help you with
I have
that.
to learn. I have to
can
learn.
help you with
There's
that.
a learning curve.
What's cute with
On
the,
the iPad there's not.
with the iPad though, they censor certain words.
Like
S-
SH blank T.
SH apostrophe T, F something apostrophe. Yeah, you get the idea.
Yeah.
Okay, Los Angeles is the car capital of the country, maybe the world.
Yeah.
And because of the economy, people are keeping cars longer. I'm doing that for the first time in a long time.
Well, it just makes sense to do that, except for there's one problem. The cars go out of warranty.
Oh, yes.
And that's when the things start to go wrong.
That's like almost on a timer.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, they make the parts so they'll only last so long. They're disposable parts.
Hate that.
Okay, it's not like they used to make the cars, right?
No.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so people are getting taken advantage of by mechanics because they are not used to having to go to a regular mechanic. So on NBC's Real Money, Charlie Romero from roadfly.com said to look for the free fixes, and he was saying that automakers offer more than just recalls on your vehicle. They offer service bulletins that offer to fix things that may go wrong with your car, and this can be after your warranty or whatever, but sometimes it's even free paint jobs. And so you've got to check. You can do this by entering your VIN number into safercar.gov.
Oh, I love that. The VIN number is on your title, on
Yeah.
your registration, and it's visible if you're standing outside the car on the
Yes.
driver's side looking in through the windshield. That little tag is your VIN number.
Right.
And so you enter that in safercar.gov, and it tells you about recalls?
Yeah, it tells you what offers are available to you.
What offers?
Yes, if there's other
Nice.
things that they'll fix for free or give you for free.
Wow.
And there's also a plug-in type of device if somebody feels funny about putting it into safercar.gov. That there's devices like RMD that cost about $100, but they will advise you of what things are out there for you.
Yes, and it plugs in under the dash on the driver's side where the mechanic would plug in his computer lead to do a survey on the
Which
car.
we lost my article on that whole article I did. We have to
Oh, I know.
find that.
We'll find it. Accessing your car.
Because accessing your car is a very scary article. I have to get that one.
Yeah.
Okay. For things that are not covered by your dealer, use apps like RepairPal or Open Bay that let you compare prices at local mechanics.
Oh, I love that. Could you give those two again?
That's RepairPal and Open Bay.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, also that brings up the idea when you buy a car of the extended warranty, past the factory warranty.
Is it worth getting it?
It depends. It's a major profit center for the dealer.
Yeah.
Because when I bought my last Jaguar, they wanted $3,000 for the extended warranty. I got it for like $800.
Oh, so you talked them down?
I just said I've got $750 in my pocket. If you want it, you'll give me the warranty. If you don't, I'm taking my new car home. Thank you. And they did it for $785.
Wow.
Now I have a friend named Brad who bought a used Mercedes. It was a 12-cylinder, about 4 years old. He went to Costco and bought an extended warranty for $6,500. He's had the car a year, and in the year he's had the car, the warranty covered over $12,000 in repair.
What? I didn't know you could do that. Go to Costco and get a warranty on a used car
On a
that
used
you
car?
buy?
Yeah.
So if you've owned it for a while, can you go do it? How does that work?
I would think so, sure. We should check into that.
That's
we go to Costco.
interesting.
Let's find out. But if you're buying a Mercedes with 12 cylinders, it's got the word expensive written all over it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I remember when Brad bought it, he was complaining, $6,500, and I said, trust me,
Will
it'll
they
come
do
in
it-
handy.
Will they do a 10-year-old Jaguar with 50,000 miles on it?
You never know. I don't know what the parameters are. Why don't we find out and
I
report
mean, that
on it?
V8 eats gas pretty good.
Yeah, it does. But the car rides like a cloud,
Oh,
and it's fast. and
yes.
it's
Oh, my gosh.
lovely.
It loves the road.
Okay, kids love iPads, but the problem is they're expensive.
Yeah?
The cheapest one is the Mini, and that's the original Mini, which is slow and pokey, and it's like $295. So, and parents might not the iPads don't have very good, what we call parental controls. So you can kind of watch what your kids are doing.
Yeah? You mean your 5-year-old's going to porno sites? Whatever.
I'm not worried about my 5-year-old. It's the 3-year-old that's got me concerned. So there's a new tablet. It's called Click and Kids, C-L-I-C-K.
Uh-huh.
The letter N, and then Kids, Click and Kids. And it runs Android KitKat 4. The current version of Android, and it has a dual-purpose interface. So kids have a kid-friendly section, and the adults, the parents, have a section to use it like a regular tablet.
They have an
So-
adult area, huh?
Yeah. I knew that would catch our attention. You remember when we went to the gaming convention, we saw the Leapfrog, the Leap Pad,
Yeah.
the tablet for kids?
Throw it up in the air and
Right.
land across the room, and it's fine.
Just don't leap on it.
Yeah.
But that has a kids interface. The Click and Kids has a kids interface, but you can also use it like a regular Android tablet. So during the day, your kid's playing Elmo, and at night, you're cruising.
I like
surfing.
that they can monitor how long the kid's been using the tablet that day.
But that's the parental controls.
Yeah.
This is the first and only kid-safe certified tablet using an Intel processor. It doesn't come like really heavy equipped with the latest and fastest. The 7-inch display has a 1024 by 6, an average display. It won't look anything as good as that new phone you're sporting.
Well, the kids, hey, it's
They
a
don't
kid.
care. They're more into apps like Looney Tunes
Yeah,
phonies.
preschoolers.
Yeah,
let's
they
just-
don't
Yeah.
say, Mom, the screen resolution sucks. You don't hear that from a 5-year-old. You hear it from your college kids.
Yeah.
All right. Now, you can pre-order it. It's called the Click and Kids Tablet 2. And you get a gel case and a rainbow colors, all those crazy popsicle colors,
Yeah.
for $129.99. But soon they'll be selling it through places like Target, online sites for Best Buy, Office Depot, Toys R Us, and even home shopping networks for under $100. Grab one.
Yeah, but then you tack on the shipping and the this and the that, and then it's
Well,
back
still-
to what, $129.99.
But it's $200. No, Bond, it's
I know,
$200
I know.
cheaper
I'm
than the
kidding,
iPad.
I'm kidding. I
Okay.
think it's great.
Speaking of holiday shopping, shipping. Well,
Halloween decorations are coming down and the heat's on for the holiday season because people want to capture your money before you spend it somewhere else.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So November 1st, Walmart announced price rollbacks on 20,000 items.
20,000
Yep.
November 1st?
Yes, and that's 4 weeks before Black Friday. Walmart is starting to offer special sales on Mondays, Cyber Mondays type deals that are happening now.
Wow, so you don't have to wait for Thanksgiving.
Right. And Office Depot, Office Max, and Amazon.com are already kicking off November 1st holiday sales. Okay, which has happened already. Okay, we talked last week about Target already offering free shipping on purchases.
Yes.
And Sears is starting next week.
Yeah, Target will be doing it up through December 20th, as I recall.
Now, if you wait till Black Friday, you may get a deeper discount. However, they may not have your merchandise.
That's not
That
good.
kind of screws things up.
Yeah, you'll
So-
pay less, but you'll never get it.
That's right.
Nice.
So in-store sales are expected to go up 4% this season and online from 8 to 11%.
How interesting.
Yes.
How are we doing on time, Tyler?
What's it's 8:47 or what?
2 minutes.
About 2 minutes?
Oh, we better sign off.
Let's we do our sign off. Next week we'll be talking about how hotels are going to bypass that horrible front desk thing where you stand in line and it's all done on the internet with your phone, which becomes your room key. We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
And you've got something about exploding trucks.
Exploding trucks on our
Twucks?
streets. Yes. Full of gasoline. Very
They're
scary.
like bombs.
Homemade things. Yeah.
So look, if you're listening to our show on Channel 1 or Channel 2 at latalkradio.com, you're listening to the audio. But if you go to the video channel, you'll get to see all 4 of us.
Yeah. Well, there's only
3 of us
right
here
now.
and Dr. Belzic on the medical show.
That's right.
And when you can see what a radio show looks like, it gives it so much more context.
It does. You get to see.
And we have so much more fun on camera,
yeah,
don't we?
Yeah. And
We do.
And we get to dress up.
Yeah.
So, Tyler, what's the big night tonight?
Just hanging out with some friends. That's all.
Oh, that's not what you said
You said you might
earlier.
have a date.
You need chaperones. We're going with you.
Oh. You want to watch? No. No.
Thanks for joining us. Thanks to Sam of LA Talk Radio, who was written up in Talkers Magazine, by the way, for making this
Wow.
all possible. Yeah, out of the 50 most influential people, Sam was right up near the top, number 8 out of 50.
Yay.
Way to go, Sam. He's giving us the thumbs up. All right, so we'll catch you next week, same time, same place. Thanks for joining us. Jeff Levy,
Bonnie Jane Bentley.
And Tyler.
Tyler M. Jackson. Be proud and loud. See ya.
Bye.
You're listening to Turn On to Tech with Jeff Levy and Bonnie Jane Bentley right here on LA Talk Radio.